Dr. Raghunathan. Dr. Raghunathan, please respond to Anirban.
Madhav, very briefly, my good friend Anibar, what is Dada saying? The Council of Bengal, Kapil Sibal agreed that the FIR was lodged after 11 hours. What is he talking about? Is it true or is it false? He should accuse Mr. Kapil Sibal of lying.
You must have,
after 10, Dada,
sir, you must have missed a few points.
Dada, I did not interrupt you. Please don't interrupt me. Dada, please. 10 hours after autopsy, the father was the first respondent. This is the calamity that is happening. These are facts, Madhav. Am I concocting them? Please
no,
tell
absolutely.
me.
The crime scene, there are questions on the crime scene, Anirban. The questions that why was the crime scene secured after the post-mortem? About 14 hours after the actual crime took place, or perhaps even longer. There are questions about the manner in which the administration reacted, the principal and the staff reacted. Misinforming of the family as to what exactly had transpired. There are very many questions that have come in from the Supreme Court as well, Anirban. Who's going to answer that?
Please,
question is CBI, but please answer these questions also.
Please allow me to respond. The State Council, Mr. Kapil Sibal, answered all the questions of the court. Please go through the entire transcript of the day. I will not make any comments about it. Anybody who goes through the entire transcript of that particular hearing will have all the answers. The State Council answered each and every question.
On the 5th, a Kolkata police officer has been called to answer the questions because the answers received by the bench found unsuitable. And let me bring in fact, Tehseen on that. Tehseen, were all the questions answered?
Justice Manoj Mishra, please read his statement.
Tehseen, would you like to refresh the memory of Anirban? Because Anirban here says that there were no such questions, they were all answered by the lawyers of the West Bengal government. Please respond.
Finally, Madhav, I get a word in, please. May I just have a couple of points? Let me begin by saying, and I absolutely agree, that the Kolkata police has completely mishandled this, completely, perception-wise and every other way. The right to protest is a fundamental right enshrined under Article 19, and it doesn't matter if BJP protests. BJP is a legitimate political party in India. They have an absolute right to protest. There is no if and but out here. I stand by the BJP's right to protest. Now let me ask you, the own visuals shown on Times Now, I was a part of it yesterday. I don't know the visuals today. I'm not in front of a TV. Show cars being burnt. Is this peaceful protest? Debashish Chakraborty, a police lost his eyesight because of bricks thrown by people carrying BJP flags or other flags from the associated organizations. Is that a legitimate right to protest? Stopping of trains, is that a legitimate right to protest? I'm asking you this. Nobody has a problem with doctors and students protesting. They should. The Kolkata police has completely screwed up the case, for lack of another word.
Yeah, no, let's temper our language,
are you
please.
allowed to break the eyes of police officers? Now let me ask you a second question.
Tehseen, I can understand the outrage, but please, this is not acceptable language at all on national television. And I am apologizing to the viewers, and I would request you to do the same.
Okay, completely destroyed the case. Destroyed the case. Now let me come up with a second word. Let me come up with the second part out here. The only person arrested in this case so far is by the Kolkata police. The same police that has goofed up the case. I won't use the word about nails and screws. I'm saying they goofed up, but they still arrested the accused. CBI says he's the accused. There is no other accused as per CBI so far. Has CBI come out with one clarification? One clarification. Has CBI solved, which is, come on, I never interrupt anybody, Madhav. This is not how I do debates. You know my debates.
Tehseen, there has to be some decency. There has to be some decency in the way we debate. I've started this debate by telling Dr. Riju Datta and Dr. Raghunathan to temper their language. And I think this is really crossing the line now. You have to be, we have a responsibility also for keeping our rhetoric a little sane. We're talking about sending out calm messages, not talking about spreading violence of the netas. We're discussing all that in the middle of this. We make such irresponsible commentary. Tehseen, this is absolutely incorrect. This is absolutely incorrect. It's not acceptable.
Okay.
And this is really not acceptable. We don't have this on my show ever. And I will tell you also to maintain that dignity. But since you've asked questions repeatedly of the CBI, I want Shatorupa to come in now. Shatorupa, is the CBI an agency that has not failed to establish its case? Of course, there are questions of Kolkata police, but why don't we know several weeks after the CBI has taken over the case what exactly has transpired? That's a question coming in from opposition from the TMC repeatedly.
Madhav, that's a question coming from BJP also, because I am not CBI spokesperson, but we are equally concerned. We are also equally anxious to know where this inquiry is leading. And like Riju said, Shondeep Ghosh keeps on coming and going from the CBI some 9 or 10 days or 12 days. And we actually haven't seen very much. So BJP is equally concerned. BJP West Bengal is equally concerned. We also want to know, where is this inquiry heading? What are they doing? Exactly how many hours is he actually being questioned, or is he just sitting around? We don't know. We are also equally in the dark. But as far as the Tehseen is concerned, he raised a few statements. I don't know based on what. Yes, I personally, and I'm sure my party, I know my party, also we denounce violence. There is no question of anything being violent as far as our agitation is concerned. Madhav, you are probably aware, 5 days we had a continuous agitation and demonstration from a particular stage in Shambhaza, and it was all very peaceful. We sang songs, there were chantings, there were we spoke about the issue. There was a proper agitation happening. Now this particular agitation which happened day before yesterday, it was called by the Students' Forum. Like the 14th was called by women all over. This was called, and they were in between, there were protests from different professions, different genders, different walks of life. This one was called by the students. Yes, many people joined. And I'm not denying many of my party people had also joined, but there were no flags. Yesterday, there were absolutely no flags. Our Honorable State President had given a clear directive that everybody is free to join. Like I had also joined that 14th night, and I had a march from school. So I had joined in without my political identity. Now, yes, certain things have turned violent, which I don't think anybody can say that somebody with a BJP flag had done that. I'm still telling you.
No, ma'am, that doesn't matter. Beyond a point, anybody engaging violence, it's not acceptable. Let's not go beat around the bush. Let's be very clear about it. I'm very unambiguous about it. It doesn't matter which political party or ideology you support. Violence is wrong per se in a democracy. You're abusing your right to protest if you turn violent.